They may soon be a thing of the past. Communities across the United States are looking to reconsider their approach to such programs, citing a worsening of racial segregation and inequities in the country's educational system. Joining us to discuss is Marcia Gentry, Professor of Educational Studies and Director of the Gifted Education Research and Resource Institute at Purdue University. Welcome to the show, Marcia. New York City is among one of the school districts to phase out the program. Can you just talk a little bit about how exactly these gifted and talented programs may be causing more harm than good?
Well, I don't think they're causing harm in and of themselves. Actually, for students in gifted programs, there are benefits, including advanced education, enriched experiences, college options, one-on-one and small group learning, dual credit, early entrance. There are a lot of benefits for students who qualify for the programs. The harm comes maybe in the fact that the programs need to be expanded and they need to be way more inclusive, so a wide range of students can benefit from and contribute to the programs.
The federal government, we understand, obviously doesn't require these programs. So can you help us understand and maybe break down why gifted programs exist and, how they started, and then the goal here in terms of abolishing them, or I think at least stepping back and reevaluating them?
Yeah, it's a good time for a revolution in gifted programs. They exist to address the learning needs of advanced students and students who learn quickly and deeply, and to create continual progress so that students, when they come to school, can learn something new every day. They should exist to discover and develop talents of youth who can solve the problems facing humanity. I'm pretty sure everybody wants a gifted surgeon, a
Yeah.
gifted team of scientists to battle pandemic, um, you know, create vaccines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I think you've noted this earlier. The issue seems to be the disparity in which students are in these programs, right? For example, according to the Associated Press, nationwide, 8.1% of white students are in public schools are considered gifted. 12.7% of Asian American children in public schools are considered gifted. Compare that with 4.5% of Hispanic and 3.5% of Black students. Do you think there is a way to reevaluate these programs to be more useful for low income communities, especially minority communities here, so that it better justifies their existence in an equitable way?
Yeah, I think absolutely. It's been this way for decades, and it's time for it to change. The it's national make 2% of the student community, and submit that the I mean, even more. And if we eliminate those programs, what'll happen is parents who have financial means and social capital will take their kids elsewhere, and there won't be programs left for kids who would benefit if given the opportunity to be in the programs.
Let's take a step back. Is there any insight into why we see this disparity? Is it implicit bias? Is it just a matter of means and resources? To your point, parents, who maybe have higher incomes or more affluent, can afford tutors, which will help these many of these students maybe place into these gifted programs versus those who are low income communities. What's the cause here?
There's a lot of causes. Implicit bias is one. Some places have like a two-step process where they have to be nominated by a teacher in order to get in, and the vast majority of the teaching workforce is white. Another issue is the testing that necessary, and that when they were developed, CT, and with opportunity, people will do well.
Yeah. There are, as I mentioned earlier, calls to kind of eliminate these programs altogether. But, what I hear you saying is that's not necessarily the solution. Can you talk about what is the solution to allow these programs to still exist, to your point, to help kind of develop the young minds and young geniuses of the future that will, create vaccines or get us to space faster, whatever it may be, but in a more equitable way? What's the solution there?
We need to commit to excellence and to equity. We need to commit to finding and identifying. Maybe we need more service schools that right now, it wasn't equitable. Of redlining. These programs are inequitable, and we need to commit to making them equitable.
So I hear obviously funding to make that happen, right? And is it setting up key measures and metrics?
I think we've put too much emphasis on measures and metrics all along. Maybe students should be able to self-nominate, parents should be able to nominate. We need to put the
Mm,
onus on the kids and the parents, and teachers should be able to nominate, but they shouldn't be able to keep kids out of programs. A test score could qualify a student for a program, but it shouldn't prevent a student from getting into that program. We are so enamored in this country with what we can measure. And so we believe that because it looks official, that it matters that we test. And I think we've put way too much emphasis in the past 100 years on how kids score on tests and not what they can do, be, and become. Gifted education is a pretty cool place because in it, we figure out what kids are good at, what they're interested in, and then we do that with them and they do really well. And we need to open that up to more kids, not eliminate it for everybody.
gotcha. Appreciate your insight on this topic. Obviously, it's one that's important for us now and certainly for our future. Marcia Gentry, professor of educational studies and director of the Gifted Education Research and Resource Institute at Purdue University.